Hello, my name is Aaron Williams, and I am a fourth-year kinesiology student at the University of Saskatchewan. This assignment is for Kinesiology 463, the Exercise, Teach, Analyze, and Correct class, and the goal is to teach a deadlift to a client with little to no experience in the gym. The deadlift is a full-body movement which works the posterior chain, primarily the gluteals, hamstrings, and erector spinae. Stabilization muscles of the trunk and quads are also greatly involved. The deadlift is an everyday movement, and teaching proper patterns in the deadlift will teach proper patterns in everyday life. For example, when you go to pick a box up from the floor, you're always taught to use squat form, bend at the knees, and put less strain on the back. However, how many of us actually do this? We just hinge at the hip and pick it up. By learning proper form on a deadlift, we'll greatly reduce the chance of injury because we'll have the muscle memory and strength to properly stabilize our back and to transfer force from the ground to pick the object up safely. Now that we know how a good deadlift can benefit us, let's dive a bit deeper into the form for a conventional deadlift. Let's go to the gym.
Morning, Ben.
Morning.
I'm Aaron Williams, and I'll be your trainer today.
Awesome.
You want to learn how to deadlift?
Yeah, I do.
Have you ever deadlifted before?
No, this is the first time.
Sweet. Well, now's the perfect time to learn.
Definitely.
Okay, so I guess the easiest place to start would be with your footwear. So,
Okay.
wear running shoes. I see. From the warm up we just did.
Yeah.
Well, those aren't necessarily the best shoes because they have a lot of sponge in them.
Yeah.
But because you just want to transfer the most energy possible from the ground, so I got some shoes that'll work for you.
Oh, perfect.
These shoes are a lot flatter of a sole and have a really firm sole, and they'll be able to return the most amount of energy from the ground into its lift. So here you go.
Thank you.
Okay, so you got your shoes on now. We're ready to go. I guess I'll walk you through how I typically do a deadlift, and you can watch and learn. So I just walk up to the bar. There's this knurling, this is called knurling, this sandpaper type stuff, and you can use it for reference for when you line up. So you kind of want to put your feet shoulder width apart.
Yeah.
About 1 inch away from the bar, you bend over at the waist. Grab the bar, it might feel kind of awkward because you're not bending your knees yet, but you just want your hands to clear your shins laterally, have enough room to go up and down, slide up and down the side of your leg. You'll bend at the knees, so you bring your shins just touching the bar, and then that should sit your hips back down, and then it'll align your shoulders right over the bar. Because you always want the bar to be over your midline, because that's the most efficient path for the bar to follow. You don't want it to be going back and forth, because then you're just wasting energy and not bringing the bar straight up.
Yeah.
Another key point is just to set your core, so you do that by taking a big deep breath in, and always think of like squeezing something between your armpits or retracting your shoulder blades.
Okay.
And this will just create a nice solid base. The weight will almost pick itself up for you in a sense. So could I get you to maybe try that out?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe fix anything I see in your stance. Okay, well first off, let me bring my feet in a little closer.
Okay.
Just shoulder width. Think of like a place where you would really want to be explosive in a jump,
Oh, yeah.
where you're most comfortable. And then maybe we step forward a couple steps towards the bar, bend over, and here. Maybe bring your hands in a little closer, where you're just about touching your legs, shins. Yeah, and maybe bring your head down a bit, yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to be looking too far up or too far down, you just kind of want to maintain the alignment of your spine. Shoulders stacked right over the bar, which is good because it'll transfer the most power. And your back is rounding a little bit up here, so I really focus on pinching those shoulder blades together, squeezing away under your armpits, and maintaining 3 points of contact with the stick. It's just kind of a reference. We're not going to have this here when you're actually lifting, but yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. And you can almost feel like the tension being put on the bar as you breathe in. It almost wants to lift itself up off the ground.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that.
Okay. Yeah, and your hands just laterally clearing, feet shoulder width. Feels like it's a good solid position to generate some power from.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we got the setup position, that's probably one of the most important parts of the lift. Once you get that set up, The rest of the lift will just come naturally. So we'll line up again, shins just up to the bar, bend it over, grab the bar, bend it at the knees. This will shoot the hips back a little bit. Retract the scapula, making sure it's still over the bar. Maintain neutral spine. And then it almost feels like you're just pushing the earth down through like the mid to rear part of your foot. And you're just gonna drag the bar basically along your shins, then your upper thigh. You'll extend at the knees slowly, and then once the bar gets to your knees, you'll shoot your hips forward, and that'll finish the lift. So, and your chest almost wants to puff out because that'll keep your back neutral. So we'll just give it a quick lift here. And knees, hips follow through. But you don't want to overextend because then that'll put pressure on your back in the opposite way. So we'll do it again. Bend the knees, slowly extend, and drive hips forward. And eventually we want this to be like a really explosive lift and I'm kind of doing it like it's two separate motions right now, but that's just to show you where at what point I'm starting to really drive my hips forward. It'll just be one smooth movement. So like that. Okay, so big breath in, chest out, shoulders back, extend forward. And then a good lift will just be fully standing normally, holding the weight. And yeah, fully locked out of the knees and the hips. Yeah, like you. So, big bar. Brace yourself. Big breath in. Okay, do a couple of these. Okay. Just watch the palm. You want to keep your arms fully extended because they'll just transfer the weight way more naturally. You don't have to rely on your biceps to be able to lock out your deadlift.
Okay.
Yeah, just focus on keeping those arms just nice and heavy. Okay. Yeah, and on your way down, I notice it's drifting a little farther forward.
Oh yeah.
So maybe you want to push your butt back rather than bend at your knees really far forward because you're just kind of making that bar path a bit hard for yourself, but you have to remember to keep that back strong and your core strong and be able to support the weight on the way down. So just kind of, fire your hips backwards first. Once you put the knees, then you can start to bend them a little more.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure it's just landing over the forefoot each time because that's where you want to start each lift from.
Okay.
Yeah, just make sure you're not elevating your shoulders at the top either because we just want to keep a firm stack line over from our feet all the way to our shoulders.
Okay.
That's looking good. Remember to really fire your hips towards the bar. And the reason we're focusing so much on the core here, keeping your core tight, is because when you bend over like this, the discs in your back take up the weight and you may be able to get it up, like getting the weight up, but it's eventually just going to have a lot of wear and tear in your discs because they're not meant to carry a load like that. So when we keep our core tight and keep our posterior chain tight, it lets the muscles take the weight rather than the discs in your back, which we're trying to develop muscles, not break our discs.
Definitely.
And another thing is, just you want to try and keep the bar as close to your body at all times as possible. Just keeping it over the midline because once it gets like this, you're creating a lever arm and that just multiplies the force of the weight. And you want to lift as much weight as possible. So if you keep it in line with your center line, it'll just maximize your lift. And when you're at the finish point of your lift, you want to lock out by firing your hips forward and keeping your knees straight, not by overarching your back, and just, because again, that puts stress on your back, and we want to stay injury free, definitely. And I guess to close off this, I'm just gonna, since you said one of your goals is to get stronger over time, so we're gonna use that, it's called the FIT principle, to tell you what to do. And so that's where frequency, intensity, type of time, and type, we're gonna be doing deadlifts. And I think we're gonna get you to do deadlifts twice a week. It's a full body movement, so it takes a lot of time to recover, so probably at least 48 hours each time you deadlift. You wanna wait until you deadlift again, because again, it uses the whole of your body. We're gonna probably keep this weight, because we're gonna wanna really focus on form. We're gonna wanna dial it in before we start ramping up any of the exercise we're doing. Just to get, again, safety, the lifter that can't get into the gym to lift weights is not gonna get stronger. So yeah, we're gonna establish a strong base first. And then get down for the first, probably, 2 weeks. We're gonna try to do sets of 10 reps, and we're gonna do 3 sets of 10 reps. And again, it'll feel pretty easy, but it's necessary. Trust the process. Okay, so after those first 2 weeks of kind of acclimating your body to doing work, then we'll slowly start decreasing the number of reps we do each step, but we'll increase the weight, so it'll start getting more and more intense, and you'll just slowly build strength over time. So this won't be sustainable over time, but eventually we'll still be doing 3 sets, but we'll probably go down to 5 to 8 reps, and we'll just focus on increasing the weight slowly over time, and we'll see how far that takes us.
Perfect.
You can start to use a belt. Like we're probably a long ways away from this, but this belt, it just helps you develop that intra-abdominal core pressure, and it just helps you, it really reinforces the need to brace your body. But I wouldn't recommend it for a starting lifter, just because we want to develop sound and patterns with the muscles, and they don't necessarily need to have this feedback yet. So this lifting belt could be something you can utilize later in your career, but it's not necessary right now for loads of lifting. But it could be a tool in your toolkit in the future. And if you ever find that you're losing grip in your deadlift, you can use chalk to help increase the friction between your bar and the hands. You can also, if you find the grip of your deadlift to be a limiting factor, you can use lifting straps, which will really take your hands right out of the lift. But again, you might be focusing more on just progressively increasing the weight at any cost, and you'll train your grip to catch up later. So you can also use lifting straps to be able to handle more weight than you used to.
This video introduced the conventional deadlift form. Another popular deadlift that one should be aware of is called the sumo deadlift. The main difference between conventional and sumo is that in sumo, the feet are a lot wider apart and externally rotated. In this way, the hands can be placed medial to your shins. When you go in this position, the body will be in a slightly more upright position and is often more comfortable for individuals with a longer torso. In summary, one of the biggest keys to any deadlift is to get into the proper setup with a tight body braced with a neutral spine. Once this is established, an upward hip hinge movement will seem very natural and produce a bar path that moves right against the body and result in a successful, safe lift.